Test 1 2, test 1 2. Beautiful Sydney, Australia, the heart of New South Wales. What a wonderful part of the world. The beaches, the harbour, the cuisine, that magnificent opera house. It is a very, very special part of the world. And where better to be for the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour right here at Manly Beach. We are looking forward to a cracking day. It is a privilege to be here. Hello and welcome. My name is Jonathan Fogarty and I am joined by the Queen of Beach Volleyball in this country, the gorgeous Kerry Potas. Kerry, hello to you.
Good afternoon, John. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really looking forward to this. It's an amazing matchup. We've got a couple of incredible games coming up. We've got a bronze medal to give away, a gold medal to give away. Maybe it's going to be Australia, but the weather is just picture perfect. The ocean is just rolling in. The sand is hot. The players are ready. I'm so excited.
No, looking forward to this one. First, we've got a bronze medal match to look forward to. It is, of course, the combination of Austria and up against this wonderful team from Japan. How do you see that one going, Kerry?
Well, it's really going to be about who can back up from a loss in the semi-final. Austria, they didn't look too good against Australia. Japan, really tight match with China. So it's going to be anybody's game, but it's up for grabs.
Well, you now have drawn our attention to the main course, which is this fantastic matchup. China v Australia, Maria Fay Artacho del Solar and Taliko Clancy. Can they go all the way?
I think they can. They've been really solid, really consistent this entire tournament, but they're going to be pushed. They're going to be under some pressure, so it's about how composed they can stay under that pressure in this heat cauldron.
Fantastic. Well, talking about the cauldron, courtside, we've got Steve Hart and Randy Stoklos. Lads, how's it looking down there?
Yeah, here we are, Austria, Japan, Manly Beach. 24 degrees, feels like more like 34 degrees. We're going to have a fantastic tournament here, or actually bronze medal match. Going into this match, both teams really kind of faltered a little bit in the semifinals. Look for an exciting one and a very, very tough one this afternoon.
Yeah, and there it is, Kerry Potas. Thanks, Randy. Good scenes down there courtside. The crowd are expecting. This is great. It's, two neutral nations, Austria, Japan, but beach volleyball fans just loving the weather and the opportunity to get amongst it.
Absolutely. All the locals are out there raring to go to see some awesome world-class beach volleyball on their local beach. Now, this is one of the best destinations in the world, and we know that the Americans yesterday, after their match, after they came off, they said that this is better than California. Who would have thought?
Who'd have thunk it? And they said it in front of Randy Stoklos, our courtside commentator and 5-time world champion. The flags are flying. There's the Japanese flag. Is that an omen, perhaps, over the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball? Thanks for joining us, folks. Again, this is the bronze medal match. Japan, you can see the number 2 on screen there, Kiko Hasegawa. She was really the focus of the last match, it must be said. Semi-final number 1, the Chinese combination really went hard at her, and you've got to think there'll be some scouting have been done.
Absolutely. Both teams would have watched each other's semi-finals, seeing who was hot, who was not. They may do the same thing as the teams that have played them previously. They may choose to do their own strategy. So we'll see how the game unfolds, but I'm pretty sure one of the players on either side will be targeted to start with, and seeing who's going to, just step up and take this game in their grasp.
Yeah, there's a bronze medal. There's a spot on the podium, folks, at offer here. So, gosh, absolutely plenty to play for. Once again, the teams, the Austrian combination, they'll have the green tops on. Katharina Schützenhöfer and her partner, Lena Plesi-Uchnig. Well, they've had an okay time through the tournament. They've been really, really solid. But boy, oh boy, didn't they hit an absolute whirlwind in that first semi-final this morning, Kerry.
Yeah, look, I didn't even think that they got a chance to get any rhythm at all in their game, because Australia was just so good. Taliko Clancy's serves were just so fast, so hard, and so accurate. She rarely made a mistake. I'm not even sure. I think she served one ball out in the entire match, but she served a bunch of aces. made it really hard for the Austrians. So they really don't have anything to cling on to, whereas the Japanese, they had a pretty good match against the Chinese. It was tight, but they would have got some, they could bring some momentum into this game.
If you're looking for positives for Austria, Kerry, perhaps they got beat down. I've got to call it that. 21-10, 21-6 at this level is a sound beating, but maybe it means that they haven't burned much petrol. Maybe they've still got plenty to offer.
Yeah, that's a good point. They've got a little bit more energy in their legs, perhaps, and they can come back and regroup. They're not playing as big a team as Australia are. They're playing a slightly smaller team, with Japan not being the biggest teams on the circuit. Japan actually have 4 teams here, so this is the best team of their 4. And as we know, with the Olympics coming up in 2020, Japan is really looking to, really create a great base of players so they can choose their best team to take to the Olympics.
You can see there the path through the draw for this team of Schürzenhofer and Plesiuchnik. They, of course, lost that semi-final to the Aussie girls, and the combination from Japan, Asuza Futami, Akiko Hasegawa, of course, they lost to China. The officials being introduced, congratulations on their appointments. Nice job, Fong Nguyen and Andrew Scofford, the referees, 2 fine young men, and we absolutely wouldn't have a sport if we didn't have, wonderful officials that do a great job.
Yeah, we have so many passionate people, so many volleyball passionate people in this country. A lot of volunteers have come together to help make this tournament amazing. Of course, we have Destination New South Wales, who have backed us now for the Volley Fest for many years.
Absolutely, couldn't do it without them. Here come the Austrians, the number 1, Katharina Schürzenhofer. And her partner is the number 2 there. You can see Lena Plesiuchnik. As we bring out the ladies from Japan, the number 1, Asuza Futami. And her partner is Akiko Hasegawa. Where's the number 2? The athletes, they have numbers on their tops because they have to stay in the correct service rotation, Kerry. So the numbering actually does mean something.
Absolutely. It helps us determine who's who. Sometimes with the hat and the sunglasses on, it's hard to tell who is who when they look very similar. But these girls, they're very different game styles, so it'll be very interesting. The Austrians will be looking to use a bit more aggression and power on the net. The Japanese working the ball around, but they won't have as big a block, so you might see some more power from the Japanese as well.
We are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. The FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball Women's bronze medal match. Japan, Austria. Japan start us up in the first set. Who will be on the podium later today when the bronze medal is handed out? Bright start from the Austrians, but handled by Japan. So there it is, first point of the match.
Typical Japan, just come away with a great defensive point and then put it away for a winner. So deep through the middle wins them that point.
Welcome and hello wherever you're watching in the world of volleyball. I know we're live on Australian TV, we're going live into Asia and on the web as well, so I hope you're enjoying the coverage. Japan, Austria for the bronze. Really good crowd in, beautiful scenes here in Manly. 2 squads that are had a really good week. They want to finish well. You want to finish with a win, Kerry, don't you?
Absolutely. Bronze medal is almost better than a silver because you finish with that win. 4th doesn't feel very good at all, being left off the podium. But Austria, a little bit of a tentative start. I think they really needed to come out the blocks powering, because anything soft and tentative is going to be gobbled up by the Japanese girls. There you go, a bit of power there, gets them their first point.
We should mention, talking about 4th place, the men's event concluded yesterday. Congratulations, Chris McHugh, Damien Schumann. The Australians finished 4th in a good event for them. They lost the bronze medal playoff to Kalinski and Evans from the USA. And in the men's gold medal match, Ben Saxton, Grant O'Gorman from Canada beat Yusuf Crew and Quincy Eyes. So the French were in silver place, silver medal, so well done all those nations. But today's all about the ladies. Japan, Austria battling it out for the first medal that we'll give away today. And of course, we've talked about the main course, Australia, China for the gold. So we can report, Australian beach volleyball fans, that the Australian women's team have won a medal here. We just have to wait a little bit longer to find out what colour it is.
Yeah, they've been dominating so far in this tournament, so we're excited for that gold medal match. But right now, there's 4 ladies here excited, hopefully battling it out to get themselves a bronze medal and stay on that podium. So that was a much better side out. Had a little look, saw the open space.
Lena Plesiuchnik for the Austrians, and she will go back to serve. This trademark deep breath she takes and swings through the ball well. Japan are off the net, but doesn't trouble them. And Kerry, we've not had to talk much about the breeze. It's been pretty still, but there is that one section of grandstand open at the northern end where a little bit of breeze comes through. We think it could have a little bit of say, perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't think it's going to really come into play too much. It's not like when you have a howling wind coming straight into your face or from your back. I don't think it'll make a big difference. I think these players are too good to be able to let that bother them too much. But that's exactly what Austria need to do. Stay aggressive, really use the block of the Japanese. They're not big and that imposing on the net. They can hit through the block, past it, over it. They just need to stay aggressive. Otherwise, Japan is just going to dig everything.
Absolutely. So you see a side change. The scoreboard 3-4. Austria trailing by 1, but they have the serve. Folks, we play best of 3 sets. You win 2 sets, you win the bronze medal. To win the first and second set, you go to 21, but you need a margin of 2.
Now, that was an uncharacteristic mistake from Japan. Normally great on serve reception. So good serve there from Austria from very deep in the court, really making that ball float around.
This is Katharina Schützenhöfer, wearing the number 1 for Austria, so asking plenty of questions. And probably no surprise that the athlete that they're serving at is Akiko Hasegawa, the number 2 for Japan. She did get the lion's share of serve reception. Televiewers, talk to me a little bit about that, Kerry. Are you serving for a part of the court, or are you trying to pick out one individual to serve at because you think you've got a better chance of defending against them?
Well, I think it's mainly about the individual. You pick the person, you have a strength in your team to try and dig that ball. Great defense from Japan. This needs to go to the sideline, and it does. That's the only way you can score points against Japan, is putting it outside what we call the gift circle. So if you can imagine, we draw a big circle in the middle of that square box, put it on the outside, and that's not where the players are most likely to dig that ball. Look at that nicely. She's standing right in the middle of the court waiting for that easy ball.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaker. You work so hard to get the ball back into play, and it just comes sailing back past you. There's nothing you can do. So 5-all. Nice knuckleball. That's a nice little off-speed. A little bit of swagger from the Japanese, Akiko Hasegawa. A little bit of a trouble ball. It was getting close to the net. She couldn't really swing on it, but her presence of mind was good to knuckle it away. So 6-5. Japan with the ball through Akiko Hasegawa. The number 1 Japanese women's team at the moment, you would have to say. And the overset, gosh, that's a little skill error there from Austria. Schützenhöfer and Plesiuchnig getting a little bit ragged early on. So 7-5 Japan. Leading by 2. Good crowd in Manly Beach. They love their beach volleyball down here. The most knowledgeable and passionate beach volleyball crowd we have in Australia. It's probably Victorians and Queenslanders screaming at me right now, but there's something about Manly Beach in the crowd here, Kerry.
Yeah, it's really passionate, the crowd. They love their beach volleyball. They're hanging around waiting for Australia to play, but they're still going to enjoy this match. World-class beach volleyball. You don't see this very often on Manly Beach. You see a lot of social players. You see some of the state team players occasionally, the national team players hanging around doing some training. But to have this quality on Manly Beach, they're loving it.
Oh, that is quality, the roll shot, but that's even better. What a pickup. That's Fatami that made the desperate dig. They're going to have to pony up again, though, because here come Austria and the roll shot. That's nice ball control. They didn't lose their shape. Lena Plesiuchnig, the number 2, putting the ball away. So good composure shown. You see that roll shot well handled, picked up by Japan. They couldn't really mount an attack, so Austria got another chance. Kept their structure, had a little peek of the defence. Roll shot. Happy days.
Oh, what a defensive point there for Austria. Great hustle to get that ball. Again, having to put it really deep. Let's have a look at this again. Gets it up, goes over on 2. Well, she sees there's no one there. Japan didn't like that first touch. They thought it was a lift.
Asking the question about the open-handed contact on the ball from the Austrians, Asuza Fatami, asking the question of the official. She's well within her rights to do so. I don't think she's going to get any love. 4 deep on the Corso, so plenty of people really interested in this match. Austria 7, Japan 8. The numbers on the left-hand side of the scoreboard, folks, represent how many sets have been won. This is the first set, so no one has made a mark on that side of the scoreboard yet. It is 7-8. Neck and neck stuff. And then an error from Japan. So we are locked up at 8 here on Manly Beach. The penultimate match of what's been a wonderful 10 days or so of beach volleyball. VolleyFest 2017 as part of the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour, this has been a sparkling couple of days for the sport, Kerry.
Absolutely, and as I said, in Sydney, having Destination New South Wales support us again for another Volley Fest. 10 days of volleyball. We had a national tour event, we had some schools come in and play a school event, and then of course we had some of the best men and women on the World Tour here competing for points, because the points is what matters. That's what they're trying to get into the bigger events, the World Championships, and of course the Olympic Games.
Absolutely. We've had 25 different nations represented here. You can see the flags of the various nations fluttering above the grandstand. So really great event for Sydney and for this part of the world. So well done to all involved. The scoreboard now jumping out to a 2-point lead. Japan 10-8. Some clever serving. Oh, I think she's hit it again. Yeah, overrule. I think the lines judge might have called it out, but the first referee, Fong Nguyen, on the stand said, no, I saw that pretty clear, and overruling the lines judge. So nice little mini piece of officiating there. Well spotted by the first ref, doing a good job. So 11-8 on the back of some good Japanese serving. Austria need to respond. Excellent.
Lena really having a good look to see where the Japanese defence was. Just before she hit that ball, you can see she dips her head down, has a look, reaches over the top, finds the space. Looks easy, but not easy at all, because as you're running in, to stay on that ball, to be able to have a quick look is quite difficult. Japan do it well. Austria in defence.
Oh, a whistle. Sounded like it was the referee, but it wasn't. So the point going on, and Japan getting the ball in. So they will take it into the technical timeout with the lead. And we're going to go courtside to Mr. Randy Stoklos. Randy, how have you seen the opening engages?
Well, it's a seesaw game right now, but there you guys, you're not seeing it what I'm seeing. There's a bit of wind from the northern corner, and the Austrians had a little bit of a difficulty receiving serves, and obviously one of the balls came into the corner for an ace serve. So that's really what we should be looking for from that south side to the north corner. Some really tough serving, and that ball is moving around quite a bit because of the wind. Yeah,
and as you look at the screen, folks, thanks, Randy. How great to have him courtside. The right-hand side of the screen is the southern end, Kerry, and the left-hand side is the northern end. So people get a sense of what they're looking at. Currently got a score of 12 points to 9. The Japanese combination, Asuza Futami and Akiko Hasegawa, started brightly. Austria have had their moments, but one or two little moments of serve reception, as Randy Stoklos, our sideline man, pointed out, is maybe a little something coming through there breeze-wise to just have an impact. We'll see if the Austrians can use it to their advantage now.
Yeah, it always helps when you have that little advantage and it's the side, the person that you want to serve the ball to. But of course, Japan, they have a tough serve anyway. So it looks like they are targeting. She gets it again. She gets the line. That's no wind there. That's just a choice that Austria made. Somehow that ball just really dipped at the end.
I heard the out call as well. It's so important, the conversation between the partnership, and for Plesi Uchnik, she got an out call from a partner and listened, but sadly it tagged the line for the Austrians. So 13-9. Japan, playing some unbelievable reflexive beach volleyball. Can they turn it into a point? No, Austria compose themselves. They are having to earn their points a little bit more, the Austrians, than the Japanese at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Every side out they make a little bit tougher. This one was just a really good reactive play. Maybe a little lucky for Japan, but then they had to go again. And Lena makes that second ball look easy.
Well, this is Katharina Schutzenhofer going back to the service line for the Austrian combination. She needs to put some pressure on. They trailing by 3 in the bronze medal match. That will help.
Yeah, nice cross block there from Austria. They jumped into the angle that time on Japan. Defense was down the line, and the attacker couldn't see that, went for the hard cross and was taken away.
All right, so Schutzenhofer again serving southern end of Manly Beach. An absolutely perfect day for beach volleyball.
Oh, that was an unfortunate call because Austria had a good play on that ball. She dropped off the net. She took a hard-driven ball with her hands, but the referee's saying, no, that wasn't hard enough to allow you to double hit that ball or to just really make a mistake with that.
To be fair to the Austrian ladies, they didn't blow up. They accepted that call with good grace, so that's always a good sign. The referee was probably on the money, so, well, the block was good. Austria can't recover. You don't see a lot of Japanese blocks, but you've talked about it before, Kerry. They jump in late. They're hard to spot, but quite effective on that occasion.
Yeah, Azuzu Futami really waiting again, a little bit on the angle, taking out the middle of the court that time on Austria and just doing the job, pressing over the net with her hands.
You can see Katarina Schützenhofer on screen, the number one. They were so despondent after that semi-final. They were well beaten, as we've said, by the Australian girls, Maria Fay and Taliqua. They seem to have regrouped. They're playing a much more controlled and composed game. Japan better at the big moments at 15-11, but Austria seem almost back to their regular selves.
They are, but now they're going to be thinking, we need to just side out. We need to make this a little bit easier with a good pass. Takes her time with the set. Finds the space. So that's the easy side out they need. Now they need to discuss how we're going to make a point. What are we going to do here? Have a little chat or just stick with the strategy they've been using.
Yeah, so it'll be Lena Pleziuchnig coming back to serve. I reckon she's going to serve to that beachside corner where Akiko Hasegawa will receive the ball. No, down the middle and misses. So probably needed a bit more from the Austrians. This is the bronze medal match. And we are in the first set. Austria now in the green tops. They'll come up to left of screen, the northern end of the beach. Japan in the red. And Azusa Futami and Akiko Hasegawa come down to the southern end of the beach. So everyone looks calm. The emotions are under control. There's not a lot of passion. But it is very much Japan's scoreboard at the moment at 16-12. Remember, folks, only go to 21 points. So the first team to 21 with a 2-point margin. Here's a chance for Austria to close it again. It's a nice play. Got a big piece of that one.
Good power there. Schützenhofer really just said, I want this ball. I'm going to take it. I'm going to smash it away for a winner.
She knew the defence was there, but she backed her power and it paid dividends. So 13-16. And then again, they go back. They work hard at the side out, the serve reception carry, and again they go back and they are wasteful with their serve, and that's not going to win you a bronze medal.
No, that's just taking the pressure off Japan, giving it straight back to them. Now they can again use their defensive magic to try and create another point.
Oh, not bad, not bad. Lena Pleziuchnig, the number two, slightly taller of the two athletes. All right, again, they've worked hard. They've done that job, the serve receive. Now she's got to land the serve. They've missed their last two serves.
Another one sneaks through that.
They're not going to close the gap at 14-17 by missing their serve. That's not bad. We've got a rally on our hands.
It's a good spot there in defence for Austria, but just too much heat from Japan, so nicely struck. Hasegawa really gets up fast and hard on this one and hits it slightly off the side of the ball, which makes it even harder for the defence to set up.
Okay, 18-14 scoreboard. First set at the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball, the bronze medal match. Austria hanging in there at 15-18. I reckon this is the time they've got to go in this first set. If they don't get this ball back and get a point with it, I think it's going to be almost too late.
They're really working the middle, the Austrians. They're serving middle to middle on Japan and trying to keep them in the middle. But I actually think that keeping them in the middle makes them a little bit more tricky because they've got so many more little shots they can play around the block. I'd like to see what they can do outside and maybe drop off the net and play defence against them.
Absolutely. So that'll bring up another point for Japan. The ball going off the blocker's hands and out. So it's going to be Japan, the Japanese girls to serve. Again, placed into the corner, but it's going to be a change of ends. So 19-16 the scoreboard to the favour of Japan. They are only 2 points away, maybe, from locking away the first set. See the replay here. For Pleziuchnig, she had a nice roll shot down the line. She's done that a few times, so that's looked sound. It's just this skill that's let them down a bit. They just haven't made enough points off their serve. Here's an opportunity with a close set, but Japan just so good at the trouble shot.
Yeah, that's what makes them so good. That's that middle play. They can go left or right.
Brings up a set point indeed. 4 set points for Japan. So the bronze medal match looking like the first set might go to the Japanese combination. They are now serving for the set. Hasegawa has got a set point ball, northern end. Puts a lot of pressure on the ball. Austria is scrambling to stay in this point. They're going to give an opportunity. Can Japan close it out on their first attempt? Austria respond. We have got a bit of a rally on our hands. It might come down to who's stronger at the net. Japan well pushed by Austria. A left-handed play. Well, there you go. Little off-speed left-hander. Uncharacteristic from Hasegawa, but it is good enough. And Japan 21 have beaten Austria 16 in the first set of this wonderful bronze medal match. Really, really good play. We're going to cover break. When we come back, second set action underway.
We'll bring that out to you. Awesome job, Natalie. Can you give her a big round of applause? That's you. We'll bring it over to you. We'll bring it over to you.
Well, the first set has been concluded, and it is the bright team from Japan. Asusa Futami, Akiko Hasegawa, really solid, 21-16 over Katarina Schutzenhofer, Lena Plaziuchnik. So for the Austrians, they've lost their last 3 sets. They lost 2-0 in the semi, and they need to turn this around. Kerry Pothast, Japan just did everything right. They did. They just looked really solid. They played a good game plan. They're really moving the Austrians short, deep to the sidelines and serve, and then getting the error there, the overset, not making any mistake. Japan just pushing it deep. This is the number 2, Akiko Hasegawa. So the second set underway, the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball. It is a privilege to bring it to you from Manly Beach. Going short again this time, not making it, but by now Austria know that Japan have got these skills that they can push them all over the court. They need to be ready for everything. Katarina Schutzenhofer, the Austrian number 1. She's going back, see if she can get a couple of points with her serve again. That middle ball, you talked about that, Kerry, bringing the Japanese offense into the middle of the court. And they actually catch a break this time. The high rainbow shot goes out, so it worked on this occasion. Did work on this occasion, but you saw the left side of the court was fully open. Japan saw that. Futami felt that. Let's see what the Austrians can bring, and just go deep again. So they're having a bit of trouble with the depth of the ball. They try to keep Japan deep, which is a good tactic. They're just not executing the serve well enough. Maybe they need to go a bit higher and get the ball to drop earlier. Japan trying the same thing. They'd come up with a couple of aces from that end in the first set, and that was some of the difference. 21-16 scoreboard, so 5 points between the teams. Certainly a couple of aces helps your cause. But Austria 3-2, basically a must-win set. Oh, it's a good layout from the Austrian defender. Can she convert it? Japanese girls standing deep and ready. And a roll shot is absolutely excellent. Gosh, you've got to work hard to put a ball on the sand when Japan are on the other side. Yeah, absolutely. Schutzenhofer did a great job with a one-handed dig. Gets herself up. She even has a little look. Goes through the middle, which is a great play, but Japan's just all over everything in the middle, and then they push the ball to the side. So that's how you play really good volleyball. When you're a bit off balance, you've got to make the defense move. All right, so 3-all scoreboard. Japan, Austria. Welcome back to Centre Court Manly and the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour, the bronze medal match. The second set is underway. It is Japan 4, Austria 3. The first end change in the second set, of course. Just to recap the scores, Japan winning the first set 21-16. They are 1 set away from the bronze medal and a spot on the podium. For the Austrians, Kerry, they need to change the game somehow. They need to maybe do something a little different. Yeah, the Austrians just need to find a way to deal with Japan's side out. Right now, they're having to struggle for their side out. It was a good side out that time off the Japan block, but they need to now do something a little bit different with their float serve. Maybe go for the sideline, see what Japan can do out wide. Schutzenhofer serving for the Austrians. Japanese girls just untroubled again. Either block or play defense, standing there kind of in no man's land. It doesn't help. Makes me think that Lena there
number 2 for Austria is just, she's not really in the game. She's not really thinking, like, maybe she was looking for a little cut shot or something, but she really should pull off a little bit deeper than that. So they're frustrated with their defence, and that's what happens. You end up not doing anything, a bit overwhelmed with all the choices.
Analysis paralysis, I think they call it. Nice rainbow, but handled again. Japan, Hasegawa, just clever. Saw the block there, crafted it off the blocker's hands and out. So, you know, the defence from Japan, the offence from Japan, they just seem to have better clarity of thought and mind and process at the moment.
Yeah, I think the strength for Austria is they're in their attack when they're aggressive. If they go too soft, Japan are just too good at picking up their shots.
Oh, Manly, such control.
She feels like nothing's going her way at the moment. You see, Lena Pleziuchnik is just, I mean, her body language is starting to kind of unravel a little bit, and she doesn't want to give that sort of tell to the opposition. She wants to get in their face and be aggressive and confident, doesn't she?
That time she did a nice fast shot to the line, so that was better. Like to see her wind up on a few balls so she gets a little bit of confidence. She feels good.
Well, she's the tallest athlete out there, so she has a right to demand respect above the net. She should be up there crushing balls and letting them know, but she, you know, she looks uncomfortable. She looks discombobulated, dare I say. She needs to get her own confidence up. They trail 5-6, but they do need to win this set to keep the match alive, to keep the bronze medal matchup alive.
That's
Japanese
a lovely,
girls, that is great.
Lovely angle from Asuza. Futami, she just really whipped that hand at the top. She really has a fast little swing. You see, even in almost, you know, slow motion, that would be fast still.
It was a bit of a blur. So 7-5, Japan leading the match 1-0. And the second set score 7-5 in their favour. We go to 21 points again. Welcome to Manly Beach, folks. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching in the volleyball universe.
So good, Japan. All over that line shot. They set that line shot up. They served really wide to Lena from Austria, pushed her out to the sideline. You watch this. She's standing in the middle. She makes her way, digs that ball. But this is the difference. A great set. And then they're pushing the ball to the lines outside of the player.
And you could hear the crowd react and the smiles and the cheers. That was a really well-enjoyed point. Really good numbers coming in, watching the match here today. In fact, all week. And I know we've talked about it a little bit, Kerry. This is the entree to a main course that we're very much looking forward to, the gold medal game between Australia and China. We'll talk about that in time, but this is the bronze medal match, and for these two squads, there's an opportunity to get on a podium in a World Tour event, so you want to be throwing absolutely everything you've got at this match.
Yep, this is the last match. No regrets. You don't want to be sitting there and warming down after this match saying, oh, if only I did this, or if only I'd done that, I should have been more aggressive here. Just give it everything. Yeah, and there you go. So really smart play. The Austrians, they're kind of like, well, why don't we do that in the beginning? Like, let's not play a rally. You don't want to rally with the Japanese.
No, they'll go all day.
They'll beat you with a rally. But this time, Schützenhofer feels that short line is open.
This is her now, Katharina Schützenhofer, the number 1 for Austria, serving northern end of the beach. They only trail by 1, so 7-8. The block is good, but the Japanese girls, of course, respond. And respond with rare quality. That is absolutely delightful, Kerry.
Yeah, really fast transition play, so they dig that ball. They keep the set quite low. You can see it's not a high set. She just comes in. Oh, this one here. It's not a high set. She has a look. She sees there's a retreating, 2 players retreating, which means generally the middle is open.
Made the most of it. 9-7 now the score. Japan are on the right of screen in the red tops, up against Austria in the green. It is nice play down the line. She should come in, and it doesn't look like a celebration when they hit a clean winner like that. If I was Lena Pleziuchnik, I'd be, you know, more vocal perhaps. I don't know. How would you have played that?
Absolutely. I'd be enjoying this right now, knowing that, you know, we've got to work hard, but we can still win this second set. They're only a point down. Japan are in a little bit of trouble. They play their little shots when they're in the middle. I would be getting off the net on that. Let them have a hit. Might cause an error.
Certainly seem to be dictating terms at the moment. The Japanese ladies have got an answer for every question that the Austrians are asking. Look at that, just breaking it at the last moment for Akiko Hasegawa. She is having a field day seeing the ball so nicely. It's a beautiful, clear day. It's a good day for, you know, for for watching beach volleyball. We've got a nice crowd in. All the corporates are in. That's a much better shot. Gosh, that is a very good shot, it must be said.
It had to go high enough to get over, though. You could see that Hasegawa was still turned and tried to make a play at that. Anything less deep, yeah, it was perfect.
Absolutely, she's a good proponent of that skill. She's tried that once or twice this match, and that was a great way to execute. But again, it's the back-to-back thing, isn't it? They can serve, receive, and we call that a side-out, folks. You'll hear Kerry and I use that terminology a lot, the side-out. That's when the team receives the serve. Dig set spike wins the point. They've deemed to have sided out, but it's the next point when they serve and defending for the point that has not been Austria's strong suit. They'll serve, receive now, which they've done well, but Japan have been much better at defending for a point. Here's their chance to defend again. Great dig, desperate dig, and a swing for the win. Perfect from Japan.
Again, they're so good at picking those sidelines or the deep middle. It's really hard to work out what's going on. So as they sit down now for a timeout, Austria really has to try and work out what to do.
So Randy Stoklos sideline, 12-9, Japan looking really sound, mate.
They're looking really good. The defense of Hasegawa, you just got to love it. She's just all over the court. She's diving left and right, but more importantly, she's converting. She's putting a lot of pressure, but this game is still very, very tight. Even though that she's on her game, you're going to see the Austrians fight back here in a must-set second set win for them.
Well, there you go, Randy Stoklos. He's down there. He's calling a fight back from the Austrians. I think he just wants to see more volleyball in the bronze medal match.
I think he's right, though. I think what Japan are doing so well is that they're converting the defensive plays they're picking up. Austria aren't getting much of a chance to even touch some of those defensive plays because Japan are just really playing the ball around all over the place. There's not a big pattern in what they're doing with their play. They're just getting it out of the way of the Austrians.
Yeah, wonderful scenes here. It is absolutely spectacular at VolleyFest 2017. Crowd looking forward to the Hello World Volleyroos coming out next in the gold medal match. But for now, the bronze medal is underway. Japan leading the match 1-0, and 12-9. It is theirs to lose. Austria have to change the game somehow, disrupt, distract, do something different. Because Japan will keep hitting shots. Here's their opportunity. Ah, that's nice from Schutzenhofer. She says, I'm going to go hard downtown. And the power game you've been asking for, Kerry Potthurst, more of that is required.
Absolutely. You've got to really take these girls on in defense. They're just too good otherwise, the Japanese. You see Schutzenhofer, she's like, no way am I going to let this one come back again. I'm tired. I want to finish it off. And that's it. It's only 3 or 4 seconds each rally. Give it all. Put it down hard.
And get the reward.
And then get a uncharacteristic ace against Japan. But she had to really thread that needle really deep in the corner. That was a really nice serve. Well placed.
Yeah, Lena Pleziuchnik, who's been looking for the deep serve a bit, has finally landed once. 11-12, as Randy Stoklos has requested. So shall they deliver the comeback? Can they get another one? Oh, they can't make it happen, but they did enough. They got bunches of points, 2 points in a row, first time in a while for the Austrians. So Japan will go back. She's got a good touch on this ball, but couldn't quite channel it back to her partner. So for Pleziuchnik, she will be disappointed. That is Akiko Hasegawa serving 13-11 Japan. Nice deep serve herself. Picked up beautifully. Japan, they were going to convert another one, but yeah, they do. That's what happens. You had the hard-driven option, and the soft shots have been so well handled by Japan. I don't know, Kerry, I'd just be teeing off now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe Lena's being a little bit tentative, looking for an easy play. They're, thinking of maybe if we win this, we've got a third set to go, but they're not going to get to a third set unless they get a little bit more aggressive. Set that ball really tight. I would also set the ball tight to a shorter team and make them try and block me all the time, and then it opens up the court in defense for a shot.
Playing a little too nice at the moment, the Austrians. They need to get a bit of aggression into their games. We said another roll shot that's missed the sideline, so she can't believe it. I think the Austrians thought that tagged the line. The line judge called instantly. This replay will be telling any part of the sideline is in, folks. Ooh, I think there's a case perhaps for that to have gone in, but Austria will call a timeout. Randy Stoklos was right there. I reckon that tagged the line, Randy.
Yeah, it was. It sure seemed like Austria had knocked off some of the rust and got a little bit of momentum. But again, Hasegawa with her defense for the Japanese really converting. And she's not all that great of a big player. She's quite small, really. So it's really fascinating for me to go and see here at ground level being able to jump as well as she is and convert as many times as she has.
Thank you, Randy, down there on the sideline watching with interest this match. The bronze medal match. Hope you're enjoying the FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour as the flags of many different nations fluttering over the stadium. We've got good crowds in, good corporate support, and a beautiful day for it finally for beach volleyball. The sun is shining. It's all come together, Kerry. It's going to be a special afternoon.
It is. It's already a special afternoon. 4 incredible athletes from very different parts of the world, from Japan and from Europe, from Austria. Both those countries also hosting many World Tour events over the years. So these girls, as they've grown up and as they've grown into the beach volleyball or into their beach volleyball careers, they've seen a lot of world-class beach volleyball at home.
All right, so Austria called the timeout. They felt they had a call go against them. They've got to come back out now and establish themselves again, and they've shaken it off really well. And good to see Lena Pleziuchnik just teeing off high in the hands. Exactly, Kerry Pottas, what you asked for.
Yeah, and the set was nice and tight too. She had to go in fast on that and quickly flip it. But if she can do that off an ordinary set as well, just put that aggression in, that's not going to help. So Schutzenhofer is not going to be happy with herself, serving that into the net. It's a big, big mistake at this time of the second set.
Yeah, 16-12 now, the second set. It just feels like those errors deep in the set, they amplify. They feel like they're worth more than a point. So 16-12, you'll see the scoreboard. Japan just cruising, and they can just keep going point for point and win the bronze medal. So it is up to Austria to try and disrupt this, get bunches of points, roll shot good. That's what they've been good at. Lena Pleziuchnik, that line shot from this end has been solid. Her task that she's now got to set for herself is to go back and serve meaningfully and tactically, but ultimately effectively. So 13-16. Goes down the line. No, but Japan just pure.
Just a straight hit there. I'm not sure what happened with the block. The block was really wide, perhaps, trying to channel the hit. Let's have a look. Austria, block is quite wide. Yeah, the ball came in and Austria didn't really adjust to that, so easy put down for Japan. 17-13
now, the bronze medal match. Are we coming to the deciding stages of this? A block from Japan. Austria respond well. Oh, Austria respond unbelievably well. Katarina Schutzenhofer, I don't think she could believe it herself.
There was a whole court open for Japan just to pop that into. So this is a great up after the block. She got it up herself, off her shoulder. This one, she had the whole court. Katarina's just playing reactive there.
Oh, is that the catalyst? Are they going to get a little bit of fortune and a little bit of energy out of that? They need this point as well. They get this point as well. 15-17. Well. It's a fickle game. It can twist and turn. The Japanese girls may even consider calling a timeout shortly if they think that it's perhaps a momentum changer. Yeah, there it is, right on cue. Randy Stoklos, you wanted to come back from the Austrian girls. You might have got one.
Jonathan, I think you're right on. A lot of pressure being put from the Austrians to Japan right now. And obviously they're in a must-set win. And the difficulty is just incredible right now. The crowd, the energy here is just really something else on the beach right here. We really want to go and see this thing go into 3. Austria's got to come out here and put a big pressure on the Japanese to score this next point.
Thank you, Mr. Stoklos. I can't but agree with you. I think the crowd deserves a third set for the bronze medal match. We've brought it all together. It's all sitting here perfectly. The corporates are quaffing fine wine and enjoying this sport. Wouldn't it be great to see more corporates getting involved and getting behind this wonderful sport in this country, Kerry?
Well, the rumour is that Volleyfest is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, which means that we're going to invite more and more teams, the best teams in the world, to our beautiful country.
Well, Japan inviting Austria perhaps back into the second set. Here's their opportunity. This is a must-win shot. All right, composure required. A back set and a line shot will get it done. And it is Katarina Schutzenhofer showing some really good composure in the last couple of minutes. 16-17. This is how you rebuild the campaign. You stay composed. You don't lose your shape. She couldn't get this one away for a winner, but her partner responded, said, set me this way. I'm going to have a little look. And now I've got to go back and recompose myself, take a deep breath, and make this serve count as well. Japan feeling the heat right now.
It's a blockable ball there, dug nicely. Big opportunity for Austria.
Oh, here's their chance. Do something well. Japan is unbelievable right now. Straight back. This is the rally of the match. This will decide so much about this game, and it is Japan. Akiko Hasegawa, all four girls absolutely spent. What a moment in the bronze medal match.
Austria did everything right in that. Everything. They went with aggression and straight over, but Japan just too good in defence. This was so unlucky. Such a great placed shot, though, from Japan. Well-deserved point. All four ladies
absolutely
huffing
breathtaking.
and puffing.
Akiko Hasegawa played about 4 different times in that rally. It is her partner, 18-16, for Tami serving. Delicately poised second set, 17-18 for the side change. So Austria are there or thereabouts. They've had absolutely the better of that last group of points. So they've got the momentum. Japan having to work super hard. But Japan ultimately still have that lead. So for the number 2, Lena Pleziuchnig from Austria, this serve is maybe the most important serve she's hit this tournament. She's got to make it count. She can't be wasteful, but she can't be easy. So it's a good dropping serve. She'll peel back. All right, here's their opportunity. Oh, it's delightful. Showing really good composure. Schutzenhofer brings us to an 18-all scoreboard.
That was a much better set on transition as well. And, of course, the drop off the net. It's a good dipping serve. Set that up as well. So that's what Austria need to do again.
Can they now get a lead, Kerry Pottas? Can they get a block or a touch? They cannot. They cannot.
Good choice by Lena there from Austria to drop off the net. Just couldn't drop off early enough. Couldn't push her body. You saw her ready. She's dropping and she only got back 1 or 2 metres. Japan just too good over her head.
All right, 19-18 Japan. Are they only 2 points away from the bronze medal? Suffice to say, this is a big moment as well in this match for Austria. No mistakes are required, but oh, wow. What a terrible time to bring up a bronze medal point, the ball into the net from Pleziuchnig, and it will be the Japanese lady Akiko Hasegawa at a 2018 scoreboard. She has got bronze medal point in her hands. The Austrians need to find a way. This is bronze medal ball, set point number 1, match point number 1, Japan.
Nicely played. Austria not wanting to give this up too soon. All they need to do is get a point here to even it up 20-all, and then it's got to be a 2-point advantage to win this second set. So this is the biggest point in the entire game for Austria right here.
Absolutely. I've liked Katarina Schutzenhofer's work, though, in this second set. She's shown good composure, made some remarkable plays. Something tough from the service line required because it is bronze medal ball number 2. Still match point Japan. Here's their opportunity. It's knocking. Will they answer? No, Japan, yes, it is Austria. Locking us up at 20-all. Kerry, you asked for it. And look at the relief on the face of Pleziuchnig. So, folks, 21 points, as Kerry has said, no longer enough. You've got to win by 2. Can Austria get a set point of their own? 20 points all in the second set. Here we go. Here's the opportunity. And they take it. Unbelievable scenes. Austria saving 2 match points, working really hard in the deep, deep sand. It is set point Austria for a chance to take the bronze medal match to 3. Kerry, this is what the crowd have been looking for.
Absolutely. Austria really working hard. The transition ball has been lacking in the first part of the game, but now they're getting it right. They're being aggressive. They're pulling off the net on Japan, more importantly. Getting ready to pull off the net, but this time they block and get an easy dig. Great change up.
Oh! Unbelievable. when the ball rolls across the top of the net, you don't know which way it's going to go. Set point saved by Japan, folks. So 21 apiece. We keep going now. You have to have a 2-point margin. Oh, it's delightful. The volley gods are mocking us all. We didn't know which way it was going to drop. Japan save set point. Futami to go back to serve. 21 apiece. Every moment is a massive moment in the context of this match. Ball is down.
Nicely played there by Lena. It was an inside set. She really had to reach for that, but she got in there. Look at her face. Real determination on her face now.
22-21. So Japan had 2 match points to win the bronze medal. Couldn't do it. This is Austria's second set point to take us to a 3rd set for Lena Pleziuchnig. She's got it in her hands. She's got the ball and the destiny are for her. What can she do from the service line?
No, just too much. She really struck that quite hard. The wind is a little bit behind them. You're going to have to work hard again. Try and make this side out a little bit easy. I wouldn't say work hard. You don't want to work hard for a side out. You just want to make it nice and relaxed. So you work hard for the defensive point.
22 points apiece. The crowd have gone in a kind of a tension mode at the moment. No block, a good dig set spike. So Lena Pleziuchnig, no errors from her. So set point number 3. Surely Austria on their 3rd attempt. This time Katarina Schutzenhofer, who has really been big for Austria. She is serving for the 2nd set. What can Japan do to respond? Here's the chance. Lena will get a swing at a set point ball. She drops it over the line, and Austria have come back from the wilderness of beach volleyball and won the 2nd set 24-22 in stunning scenes here at Manly Beach.
Unbelievable work from Austria. Who would have thought at the beginning of this 2nd set, they really did look down and out, but the crowd kept them in it. They did some great plays. They got a bit of confidence. You see there, they're really feeling the heat. Lena with the ice pack on the back of the neck, trying to keep herself cool. The crowd really loves it. Music's pumping. But Japan now have to regroup. So the momentum in the last part of that 2nd set, all Austria's way. You know, and I think, again, I'm going to say it again, the difference was they pulled off the net a few times. You know, they didn't stay in block. They mixed it up enough. All
right, well, the man who demanded a 3rd set in this match, Mr. Randy Stoklos, you have a 3rd set.
Yes, we do, and what a great match it's been. Really, it seemed like I said, the Austrians trying to knock the rust off of them. It finally seems like they're starting to walk the walk, talk the talk. You can see it in their body language. Let's see if they can carry it over to the final 3rd and final set. Game to 15 points. Who's going to get the flip? Who's going to get that good side? Seems like serving from the south to the north is an advantage, but both teams are pretty fired up right now.
Well, the man who invented beach volleyball swagger approves of the newfound swagger of the Austrians, and I am not going to argue with the big man. As he said, we are now in the 3rd set to decide this sparkling bronze medal game. We only play to 15 points, folks. You've got to have a 2-point margin. We change ends every 5 points in the 3rd. So it is Hasegawa to get us underway again for Japan. Into the net it goes. Kerry, the 3rd set, I harp on a lot about a lot of things, but I harp on a lot about how in the 3rd set, every error seems to be more magnified.
Absolutely, because you're only going to 15 points. So you really have got to focus in on this. You've got to take some of the momentum that you had perhaps in the 2nd set. Keep aggressive like that. Hasegawa hasn't hit a hard ball like that for quite some time, so good for her to come out and really be strong and aggressive at the net.
All right, 1 point all, 1 set all. Japan at the favoured serving end, according to our courtside commentator, Mr. Randy Stoklos. So we'll see if that translates in a service pressure. That's a lovely drop shot, but no, it's just gone out. So Japan a 2-1 lead now.
And that's where Austria need to stay aggressive. You see, going for the drop shot. Get that ball onto the net for your partner so she can have a really good swing. That's what I'd be saying.
So they go back to Pleziuchnig with the serve, as you would. That's nice. She's put it down well. So 2 points apiece, 1 set all. We are 1 point away from the side change. G'day and welcome, folks, wherever you've tuned into the volley universe to this match. It is the FIVB World Tour of Beach Volleyball here at Manly Beach in Sydney. This is the women's bronze medal match, and an overpass is going to be absolutely destroyed by Lena Plesiuchnik from Austria. So they will take a 3-2 scoreboard to the southern end of the beach, and they looked a little bit down and out early in the second set, but they've come back and they seem to be getting better and better, Kerry.
Yeah, the determination on Lena's face now, it's really changed from a I don't know what to do to let's get this done. I can just see it in her mouth, in her face, in the concentration. So she's going to be making good choices. Drops off the net. Oh, just not far enough. So Hasegawa really saw her movement there and just went fast and deep, beating her in defence.
This is Akiko Hasegawa wearing the number 2 for Japan. She's at the northern end. It is a 3-all scoreboard. Again, we only played a 15, folks, so it's generally over pretty quickly. And it means you can lose control of your destiny really quickly as well. Japan desperate in defence. Austria desperate in defence, but ultimately it is Japan who get the benefit of this one. They're covered in sand. This is really grueling, tough conditions, Kerry.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Japan will fight to the death. They will be throwing themselves around. They will eat the sand if it means getting a ball up and then finishing it off with a really well-placed shot around the block. So if it was a shot game, I'm going to give it to Japan. If it's going to be in a hard-hitting, aggressive game, I might give it to Austria.
All right, 4-3 underway again. You can see Akiko Hasegawa covered in that fine, manly sand. Kerry Potthast telling us they will eat the sand if they have to. They've certainly been throwing themselves around, the Japanese combination. Dynamic in defence. It is 4 points all. See the athletes now taking a little bit longer about cleaning sunglasses and just getting their preparation right. Every point now magnifies in intensity and importance the deeper we go. A close set. That's really playing into the Austrian hands. So here's their chance to turn it into a point. The set, unfortunately, inside. She can't do much with it. And then Japan, wow, uncharacteristically losing their shape. And Asuza Fatami, a little bit wasteful.
Yeah, she hasn't touched the ball for a while. Her partner's getting most of the serves. So having a hit like that and really needing to direct that to a position down the... Oh, she's going for the deep angle, but didn't get the side of the ball well enough. The coaches, you can see the Japan coaches behind the Austrian girls then really not happy with their squad. Good pick up off the block.
Oh, no touch on that one. So 6-4. Austria were 3-2 leaders on the last side change, and now they've gone 6-4. So they have just stretched that lead a little bit more. You'll see the hard-driven ball into the net in the second attempt. The block touching the first one, but Hasegawa couldn't clear the tape. And so Austria, wow, a little bit of emotion finally by Plesiuchnik. I like that. We need to see more of that.
When you can start to smell a little bit of victory, that's all they need. Look how determined they look. They're not fighting. They're not like cheering, really screaming loudly. They're actually, Japan are really angry at themselves, frustrated.
So 7-4, timeout called Japan in the third set. Stokey is sidelined. This game is flipped on its head, mate. So Randy is absolutely speechless with the change in this game. It was all Japan. The first set they won 21-16. Then Austria came back late in the second to win that in a barn burner, 24-22. And currently Austria 7-4. Are they only 8 points away from the bronze medal and a spot on the podium? I think the Japanese girls have been in control of this match. Interesting times.
It's such a mental game because, like I said in the beginning, the Austrians almost still look like they had the same frustration that they had in the semi-final against Australia, where they couldn't do anything to get a point. And now they're on top, and now they're starting to really find their straps. So, you know, it's going to be tough now for Japan, but I know Japan are fighters. This game is by no means finished.
All right, we are underway again, the bronze medal match. Good timeout call, Japan. You always take credit. You call a timeout, the opposition serve the next ball into the net. You go, see, we took a good timeout. We disrupted them.
Yeah, it's all about breaking that focus, breaking that thought pattern.
All right, Japan 5-7. They got to stay in touch with Austria. The 15 will come up really quickly. So Schutzenhofer has to hit a roll shot. Japan can't do much with it. It's going to be Pleziuchnik, her roll shot is delightful. She's a very different athlete than the one that was playing 35 minutes ago.
And her partner's screaming at her to go line on that play. She gave us such a good set.
Yeah.
It started off line, and then it was screaming line. Yes, it's open. And that's so good to hear. Good, tough serve from Austria.
Here's their choice, or their chance for another line shot. Why not? And she lands it perfectly. The Austrian combination have found another gear. 9-5, we saw them soundly beaten, as we've said, in semi-final number 1 earlier this morning by the Australians. But they've come out and they've found their fight, they've found their game, and all of a sudden at 9-5 in the 5th set, it's going to take something special to beat them.
See what Japan can do. They've always got something special up their sleeve. Nice pass. It's a pretty good set, but just forcing another error. So Japan now really struggling this last part of the 3rd set.
Kerry, you talked earlier about Japan had hardly made any errors, but now we're starting to see error upon error. Is that fatigue? Is it because the Austrians have raised their game? What's the cause?
I think possibly a bit of everything, but that ball was outside for Japan. They love being in the middle of the court, so outside they have to do something again. Another wide serve, a wide set. She has a swing. Austria was there, but just couldn't execute, so good choice. When people are when the defensive players are touching your spike, you know that they're close to digging it next time, so it just keeps you on your toes, a reminder that, you know, I'm there, next one I'm going to get. So good defense by Austria.
Okay, Akiko Hasegawa for Japan, serving, trailing 6-10. This is really an important rally. It's going to give an 11-6 scoreboard. Only going to 15, folks, so for the Austrian girls, you know, they can almost see the podium from here. Closing a 5-point gap in a 3rd set is really hard.
Yeah, really tough, but it's possible. We can never call it at this point because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Well, the match has twisted and turned, that is for sure. 7-11 now. So Japan get their side out and go back and have their serve.
It's a tough play. Austria getting in the way on the block there. Nice swing from Japan, but they get a chance to make a point in defense or give them a tough serve, see if they can find something. So
7-11 the score. 7-11 is the score, becomes 12-7 Austria. So all of a sudden it looks like the Austrians can't do a thing wrong. Every serve receive, every serve is good. Their block pressure. Are they 3 points away from the bronze medal? Katarina Schützenhofer and Lena Pleziuchnik are looking very, very good all of a sudden. Japan finding their composure. Azusa Fatami and Akiko Hasegawa were in control of this match, but they will side change down to the southern end of Manly Beach, wondering how they can get this margin down. They trail by 4. This is a nice swing, no block. Okay, Hasegawa. She's going to look for that breeze into her face, into that northeastern corner that Randy's talked about. No, she goes deep and utterly wasteful. So 13-8. Austria, are they 2 points away from a podium finish? This is unbelievable. Katarina Schützenhofer just needs to get the ball in because all the pressure is on Japan right now. Can't do it. Can't do it. 9-13. It doesn't feel like such a bad error when you've got a 12-8 or a 13-8 scoreboard.
It doesn't, but they need to side out here, Austria, because if Japan get a little sniff of a comeback, they're down possibly the favoured end, but that is not going to help.
Oh, they're asking the question, and why not? Because that missed service, if it stands, and I'm pretty sure it will, gives Austria, unbelievably, bronze medal point, and 5 of them. The Japanese lady can ask all she wants, but it's simply this. Lena Pleziuchnik and Katarina Schützenhofer have got 5 match points, and this is for the bronze medal for Austria. Oh, what a pickup. Here they go, Austria. Can they do something amazing for the crowd? Japan are fighting over the ball. Who's going to hit it? Good composure.
They make the play Japan, that traditional little off the side of the ball hit, but you could see how much Schützenhöfer wanted that. Both of the players laying down in defence to get that one back up.
Stunning stuff, but 4 match points remain. The pressure on Japan, suffice to say the serve's got to go in play from Hasegawa. Bronze medal point number 2. Here we go. It is done. Can you believe this comeback? Unbelievable scene.
I don't think the Austrians can believe it. They have finally let their emotions out. A bronze medal on the World Tour. That is something to be so proud of. They came so far. This morning they were absolutely crushed by Australia in the semi-final, but their spirits weren't crushed. They came out against a really strong side from Japan. They were fighting hard but not playing well in the first half of the game. But how well did they come back, Jonathan? What an event for these two ladies.
Well, I think the faces tell the story. Kerry Potthast, this is what it means to Katarina Schützenhöfer and Lena Plesiuchnik. This is a massive moment in their career. That is a massive victory. They were well beaten. 21-16, 24-22, 15-10. They have won the bronze medal. Congratulations, Austria. When we come back after the break, we're going to start talking about the gold medal match.